Up, here he comes. Here he comes, folks. Right on time. Right when I sit down. You want to be on camera? All right, say hello to the folks. Welcome everyone to PDINA Royally Teachable Moments. So happy to be here with you today. I hope you're doing well. And talking about what's going on. So some information just came out with Harry in this whole lawsuit. We know that he is in the second day of his visiting on this trial or on this court case with Associated Newspapers. And, you know, he's really continuing his attacks on the family. Some information just came out about how he is calling out the royal family for essentially withholding information that could have protected him. He's going against his family and the information that the Associated Press did not do to help him with his breach of information, and now he's saying his family did stuff to him too. This man is blaming everybody. It's like he's got his reasons for doing things. So first I want to just take a quick look at what he did when he came to the court yesterday. When he walked right into that photographer. Now here's a man that's got 3 bodyguards that are supposed to be protecting him. They could not even protect him from running in and doing the tango with a paparazzi guy or with the photographer. Look at this. It's like you busy cheesing and smiling and not even paying attention to where you going. It's like the man laying there like flat, flush up against his body crevice and because he wasn't paying attention. And what good is that security guard if he just gonna allow you to just run into people like that? Like, come on now. You gotta do better than this. You got to do better than this. I thought that was just crazy, and how he was cheesing. Now, you know his wife. You know Megan was like, okay, you got to go up there. You got to start smiling real big. Go out and smile and make people look at you like you ain't got a care in the world. You going around to the courthouse, you all cheesing and smiling, knowing good and well he could have went to the back entrance. He did not have to go through the front. Celebrities have a way to get into buildings unnoticed, but this is just a publicity ploy for him. This is just Harry trying to be seen, trying to be noticed, to have a PR campaign, to have people watching him going into the courtroom. It's really trying to use this as a way to keep his branding out there, and then throwing your family under a bus again, seeing that they did not protect me. They withheld information from me. And the reality is they withheld information from Harry, very damaging information that he himself could have been in so much trouble for had they not done that. He is the one that is being protected by his own silly, stupid, poor choices. Can you believe this? Now, the one thing I really wanted to point out that I think is important to us being here to learn something. Let's just look at this in a way that brings it into full context. Harry comes from a very famous family. He is trying yet again to cause harm, destruction to this institution that he no longer wants to be a part of. And let's just think about how his solution is to harm this institution that really gave him everything that he has. But in so harming this, what is he also doing? He's affecting the charities that are getting good support, publicity, and help from the royals that don't have to do what they're doing. That's how you need to look at that, because that's the real harm that Harry and Meghan are causing. So Harry is saying that the royal family, without doubt, withheld information on his phone. They kept information that he had been hacked. They did not tell him that he had been hacked. And he's telling the people that this is what happened to him. Let's listen to what he actually said. Harry appeared in court for the second time today as he is pursuing his case against the Daily Mail publisher, Associated Newspapers. And he's saying that the royal family withheld information from him about phone hacking because they did not want him to bring out claims that were going to open up a whole can of worms. A witness statement submitted before his civil claim against Daily Mail publisher Associated Newspapers, Harry said that he was conditioned to accept his family's rules, never to complain, never explain. He was conditioned to do this. Not that this was what was in the best interest of our family and our institution and you maintaining the privilege in which you have, Harry. No. He wants to spin it like they did this thing. They conditioned me to accept these things that were horrible. That's what he is saying. And it's the choice of words, it's how he's saying it that shows you he is still driving the knife into his family. Still, right before the coronation of his father. Think about that. Why would he do this now? Why would he bring out information to continually drive the negative association with this institution, which he wanted to be half in? He wanted to still be half in, remember? It was, I want to leave, but I want to do work part-time and I want to do work here in America and, No, but because he couldn't do that, now he's like, okay, I'm throwing y'all under a bus. I don't like y'all at all. I'm going to go out saying all kind of horrible things about y'all. So discussing phone hacking claims, news group newspapers, Harry said, I became aware that I had a claim that I could bring in 2018. And the institution was without doubt withholding information from me for a long time about NGN's phone hacking. It has only become clear in recent years as I have pursued my own claim with different legal advice and representation. And we all know what that is, right? That is his wife. That is this whole thing since he left the Royals. It's like his eyes were open to the deceit of his family when he left the institution. That's what he's saying right here. We got to read between the lines. We have to read between what he is saying to find the real true message of what he is actually saying. That is listening with the third ear, folks. That's what they call that. Listening with the third ear. Moving on, he goes on to say that he would refer to the royal family as the institution. He is among other claimants against Associated Newspapers, accusing them of numerous breaches of their privacy. The publisher is also saying that they deny all of these allegations. And, there are some very deceptive means and ways in which they would try to get information, which I would definitely have a problem with myself. But he also goes on to say that speaking about how he found out other people within or associated with the royal family have brought phone hacking claims against the press, he went on to say, it's not an exaggeration to say that the bubble burst in terms of what I knew in 2020 when I moved out of the United Kingdom. And now he's going on to really draw attention to, I didn't understand what they were doing to me until I left with my wife in 2020 on the Freedom Flight. This is when the revelations of the deceit and the misguidance of this institution finally became clear to me. He is continually in this moment taking a dig at his family and his father. And he also wanted to have a visit with his father, which rightly so, his father refused to meet with him because there's no reason to even at this point even try to come together because he's doing what the family, the institution, whatever has always thought he would continue to do. There's no trust there. There's no bond to connect. So why even work with Harry to try to mend the relationship? It's broken, it's severed, and this is how Harry wants it to be. Otherwise, he would not be making these claims in this lawsuit. He went on to say, there was never any centralized discussion between us about who brought claims, as each office in the institution is silenced. And, you look at the reasons why it's silenced. It's silenced there because you want to have one cohesive voice that all information is going out. And it's better not to say anything. It's better to just focus on the good work that you're doing within the institution and to not get embroiled in these these conversation or these press pieces. Accused the royal family without a doubt withholding information for a long time. He goes on to also say that the court heard on Monday that Harry had lost or cut off friends and everyone became a suspect since he was misled by the way that the articles were written into believing that those close friends were the source of articles about him. He claims that they withheld this information to him and denied him the opportunity to actually pursue these false allegations or information that suddenly came to the publisher's interest to make a story about it illegitimately. Like, they should not have had this information. They obtained it in illegal means. He also says that the institution made it clear that we did not need to know anything about phone hacking, and it was made clear to me that the royal family did not sit in the witness box because it could open up a can of worms. This is what he said in the statement. And this right here is really showing you that he is out full war against his family. Everything that was once in the dark about what they did prior to 2020, before that freedom flight, is on the table for him to talk about. Now, at the same time, I also heard, and I'm not going to go into it here, but I also heard some very, very disturbing information that was sent to me about some things, allegations that Harry has done. And if this is true, this is a very sick, horrible man. And I don't know, because it hasn't come out yet, but there were also talks about how the royal family covered up these horrible allegations about Harry. And if that ever comes out, he only has himself to blame in terms of it getting to the light. Because now what he is doing, he is saying that his family has withheld information that could have benefited me around this phone hacking. But he's also saying they withheld information of very horrible misdeeds that I have done. Then what do you say, Harry? What do you say then when they covered up information for you and your wife, mind you, around her bullying allegations? So it's like they want to say, well, the royals are bad people because they didn't let us say anything. They didn't let us pursue this hacking. But at the same time, they covered up how we're bad people anyway. It's like, okay, so what you gonna do? You just gonna say, you just gonna have them just say everything? You want everything to be disclosed, even when it puts you in a bad light? I doubt he would want that to happen. He went on to say, Prince Harry said he is bringing his privacy claim against the Daily Publisher because I love my country. This man, he got some problems. Because if you really loved your country, you would shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. You ain't got nothing to say that's going to help you and your love for your country. Because if you really, truly loved your country, you would not have done half of the things that you have done. It's the whole conniving of it all. It's the whole twisting of the message, trying to make himself appear like he is this angel ready to be loving towards his country and to fight for my country. But at the same time, y'all mean, y'all did things. I could have brought a lawsuit against y'all, you know, because y'all withheld information, and I could have brought a lawsuit against, you know, or had information to help me fight against this information that came out into the public. It's like, that's just what comes with it. That's what comes with having the privileges that you have and being able to have your misdeeds covered up. It's almost like you watch what Harry is doing in these moments, and he is off on a destruction path. We're seriously, like right now, we're watching him self-destruct. Because this is why you know he's doing it, and it's going to self-destruct for him. This is a man that has been coddled his whole life. He's never lived in the real world where he had real responsibilities. He's had real issues that came to light that he had to address, that he had to amend, and he had to reckon with. It was always handled with kid gloves, covered up, or get you the people that we can to help you with your self-destruction. Like, there was always this remolding and reordering and branding of this very damaged man. But now this very damaged man is out on his own, self-destructing without that help any longer, in which he is now complaining about. And the more he continues to try to fight the past and to hurt the hand that fed him, that gives him his privilege that he even has right now, the more he is going to get it, a boomerang effect is going to whip him in the face, is going to backfire, and it's going to hurt him. These are the laws of how it works. You can't do what you're doing and continue to find the path of righteousness that is going to make your life normal, great, and all is right with the world. That's just not going to happen for him. Even the information around Harry being at this proceeding right now, this pretrial, which he doesn't even have to be at. And this is why he is there. He's testing the waters with the British public. He's testing to see how bad is the damage. Can I come and say I still love my country? Can I come and say all these things that I'm trying to make right with my founding country, that I want to still accept me despite the things that I've done? He's testing the waters. He's coming back to see, can I still get along and not be booed and have people throw tomatoes at me and things be really horrible for me in this moment? This is why he's really here. It's trying to further the narrative about how bad his family is. You know, and also seeing how he's been coached by his wife with that big smile, stupid smile on his face, going into the courtroom, running into this man, this photographer. There's no direction. There's no real meaning around what he's doing. It's all for self-promotion to the greater good of very superficial things. This is a real fight, folks, that is going to lead off into very bad things for two people and their children. Now, at the same time, things around the press and reporting have gotten so much better than what it was 30 years ago. But they're using this moment right now to conjure up more of their narrative to go against their own families right before the coronation. Isn't that just so ironic? Just like, why are you doing this now? Why are you trying to perpetrate even more negativity against your family, knowing that there's this big event coming up, this big historical event? And he also goes on to say in his statement that he was bringing this claim because I love my country and I remain deeply concerned by the unchecked power, influence, and criminality of the publisher. The British public deserve to know the full extent of this cover-up, and I feel it is my duty to expose it, he added. And you know what? Yes, and it's the family of which you come from. It's their duty to expose your nonsense. They need to expose Harry. They need to expose Meghan for all the deception and nefarious things that they have done. They're calling out people to be called out while they themselves continue to do things that have not been called out, that they get away with. So it was reported that the king, when he had them evicted, that was the tip of the iceberg in terms of what is going to come their way. The real learning, the real necessary tough love comes to Harry and his wife by giving them the real hard choices that the king needs to make them finally wake up and understand that you cannot sling dirt and mud if you can't take it back in your face. That's the real learning that needs to happen for Harry, and especially Harry along with his wife, because we know she's behind it. She's behind everything that Harry is doing right now. And this will not end well for them, and it's not going to be good for the future of the monarchy. It's real destruction that they're trying to cause, and it's very, very unfortunate. But let's hope at the end of all of this, the king gives them the true smackdown that they need and that they honestly, in my opinion, deserve.